Hi there. Today, you are going to train your ears with real English from a real news report. First up, just listen and don't panic. Don't panic if you miss words. Don't analyze. Just expose yourself to the rhythm, the speed, and the emotion of native English. That's all I want you to do. Then, we'll go back and look at the story together. What happened? Who was involved? And we're going to look at some expressions, and you are going to join me in the comments and tell me, what do these expressions really mean? After that comes the most important part, the shadowing loop. Not random vocabulary, not textbook English. We're going to focus on three powerful phrases native English speakers actually use in everyday life. Because what's important when you learn a phrase is, can I use this 10 or more times? If you can't, tell me, what is the point? So our three phrases for today, well, why don't you just stay tuned and we'll get into that after the first reading. But I want you to know that these are reusable phrases you can use in conversations, in meetings, in presentations, or when you're just sitting with your friends and you are chatting about the news or about current events. And finally, the last thing that we do in this session, we return to the article one more time. But hey, this time it's going to be at a fast, natural, native speed. So at the beginning of the session, maybe you think, oh, native English is difficult. But I promise you that by the end, your brain will be processing faster, your ears will be sharper, and your output starts sounding like mine, a native English speaker. You're going to start sounding really natural. And an added bonus is that by the end of the session, and every session that we do, fast native English will feel, slower, clearer, more natural. It's not so difficult after all, because native input then becomes your output. And if you're ready, let's dive into this. Welcome to Bridge the Gap. 5 Italian tourists have died in a tragic scuba diving accident in the Maldives while exploring underwater caves in the Vavu Atoll. According to reports, the group was diving at a depth of around 50 meters when they failed to resurface. There was growing concern, and the crew of their diving vessel reported them missing. A large search and rescue operation was launched. Italian authorities confirmed that all 5 victims were Italian nationals. The University of Genoa later stated that one of the victims was a marine biology professor along with her daughter. At the moment, the situation is still developing, and investigators are working to understand exactly what happened inside the cave system. It remains unclear what went wrong. All right, let's rewind. What happened? 5 Italian tourists who were divers died. They were diving at a depth of around 50 meters, but they failed to resurface. The crew of their diving vessel reported them missing, and a rescue operation was launched. The Italian authorities confirmed that all 5 victims were Italian nationals. We don't really know what's going on. the situation is still developing, and we don't really know exactly what happened inside the cave system. It remains unclear what went wrong. Now, I'd like you to shadow 3 phrases with me. The first time, really slowly. The second time, faster. The third time, like a native. There was growing concern. There was growing concern. There was growing concern. The situation is still developing. The situation is still developing. The situation is still developing. It remains unclear what went wrong. It remains unclear what went wrong. It remains unclear what went wrong. Fantastic. Now we're going to redo the article, run it again at native speech speed. Are you ready? And I'd like you to shadow me. So by the end of this session, the next time you hear this article in English, or you hear a native English speaker speaking, it won't feel fast anymore. Let's get into it. 5 Italian tourists have died in a tragic scuba diving accident in the Maldives while exploring underwater caves in the Vavu Atoll. According to reports, the group was diving at a depth of around 50 meters when they failed to resurface. There was growing concern, and the crew of their diving vessel reported them missing. A large search and rescue operation was launched. Italian authorities confirmed that all 5 victims were Italian nationals. The University of Genoa later stated that one of the victims was a marine biology professor along with her daughter. At the moment, the situation is still developing, and investigators are working to understand exactly what happened inside the cave system. It remains unclear what went wrong. Now, tell me, could you understand this? It doesn't feel so fast anymore, does it? If you enjoyed our session, if you feel that you can now understand when a native English speaker speaks, please do take a moment to hit like and subscribe, where we provide, on this channel, we provide real content and the transformation. Because, hey, guess what? You just shadowed me for, oh dear, how many minutes was it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me.